Hi guys, welcome back. This is Drogs, Fully Painted Miniatures. This is going to be the 24th attempt at defeating Crooked Mask on Expert difficulty. I got really close last time, so I don't know if this time's going to be it, but I think this is the setup that's going to finally get me across the finish line. It may take me a couple more tries, but I'm right there. I didn't have very good luck on my corruption cards last time. And I still was a turn away, an activation away from defeating him. So, going with Kadir and Zaxos. And we're using Jade, Sifter's Pearl, Clouded Sapphire, Flexing Dagger, Focusing Orb, Lava Tendril, Feral Lightning, Chaos Arc, and Arcane Nexus. You could make a case you could replace Flexing Dagger with something else, but we're just going to keep going with it. All right, we're going to start with Zaxos. He's going to prep Flare, and for 4, he's going to buy 2 Jades. Oop, just screwed that all up. Zaxos gets to go again. And he's going to cast Flare for 1 damage. Prep Spark, 1 damage. Crooked Mask, and for 4, he's going to buy 2 more Jades. Nemesis gets to go. Bleed Static, Power 3. Player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. So I always forget about this one, so we'll see. Then we're going with Kadir. She's going to prep Spark, and she's going to buy 2 Jades. Pretty happy with how this is going so far. She's going to go again. She's going to cast Spark for 1. This is 68, and she will open her second breach for 3. Prep 2 Sparks. Pretty happy with that for her first turn. She got 2 Jades, and Zaxos got 4. So we're going to take 1 token off Bleed Static, and we bring out the Corruptor. Not too shabby. That's about as perfect as a first turn can go. And they both have 7 Aether on deck, so they can both buy an Arcane Nexus. Nemesis is going to go first. 1 point off the Bleed Static, or Power Token, 1 damage to Gravehold, and we draw Burden. Players collectively gain 2 Corruption cards, 1 each. So I'm going to do that. Any player focuses a breach. I want to get her stuff open. It's the one thing I didn't want. That's bad luck. Player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of the prep spells. Kadir takes 4 damage. Corruptor activates again. But at least I get several activations in a row without them messing with me. I'm going to leave the Sparks for now. And for the 7, I'm going to buy an Arcane Nexus. She gets to go again. We're going to cast 1 Spark for 1 damage to Crooked. Prep that Spark. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. That brings us 26. Focus a breach. She's going to open her 4th. And so I didn't need to cast a Spark. That's alright. And then I'm going to buy a Sifter's Pearl. Zaxos' turn. So he has 7 as well. I could go with a Focusing Orb and a Sifter's Pearl, which isn't terrible. But I'm going to go with an Arcane Nexus just because those are hard to get. So for 2 damage, place a gem from the least expensive gem supply pile in your hand. He will cast Spark for 1 to Corruptor, prep his Flare, and he gets 7 again. He doesn't really need Arcane Nexuses, so I'm going to take a Feral Lightning and a Flexing Dagger for 7. I feel like that's going to be more effective for him. I almost want to get more gems. Did I do that right? I think so. If I did that wrong, I apologize. I don't think so, because no, that makes sense. They should have them both out at the same time. So I just screwed up the bleed static. Not happy about that. But everything else so far is pretty good. Okay, we're going to start with Kadir. She's going to prep Arcane Nexus. She's going to double cast the Jade, so that actually is able to give her 7 again. Let her buy another Arcane Nexus and still use Emerald Shard to give herself 1 life. And now I have an Arcane Nexus and Emerald Shard next to each other. So I can use double healing later. So I'm pretty happy about that. Corruptor activates, does 1 damage. And we get Tempt. Player with the most crystals in their hand, so that's Zaxos has 4. Discards 4. Suffers 3 damage, brings him down to 5. Maybe take anything that costs 4 or less. He's going to take a Focusing Orb. Nemesis again. Corruptor activates, 1 damage. Unleash, Greyfold suffers 3 damage. And we're going to give that one to Zaxos. So, I love that I was able to get 3 Arcane Nexuses between the 2 of them. I don't love their economy. I don't really have any Sifter's Pearls yet. Or Clouded Sapphires, although I got all those shades early, so their economy's not terrible. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little bit of a strange start. Alright, Greyfold suffers 2 damage. That's not good. Brings me down to 19. Greyfold's taking a beating. Focus a Breach. Give that to him. I will cast once. I'll cast Spark for 1. Wait. Yeah, I will cast Arcane Nexus for 5, and then Spark for 1, and I'll just kill the Corruptor. Use 2 cards. Corruption cards, Kadir. I will then prep, Spark, and that still gives me 4 to buy a Lava Tendril with Sifter's Pearl ability activating. All right. Zaxos' turn. He's going to cast Flare. Does 3 damage. Crooked Mask, brings him to 63. And then prep Arcane Nexus. That's his turn. Not very good turns. And then he gets to go again. He will hold on to the Arcane Nexus. Oh, except for 1 damage. So that brings him down to 4. And he may return his flare to his hand. Let me give that to her. So that's 5. You know what? That's okay. I will cast Arcane Nexus. I don't need to double cast the Jade for another 7. He's going to grab a Feral Lightning for the 5, and he's going to prep the Flare. So we got to think so far. Am I doing better or worse than last time? I can't really tell. I don't have any Chaos Arcs yet. Just haven't gotten the economy right to where I'm hitting 6s. Alright. Zaxos again. I don't have any reason to cast Flare. I will use Flexing Dagger to focus his breach, 2nd breach. Focusing Orb on Kadir's 3rd breach. And then he generates 5, and I'll buy another Feral Lightning. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's another 7 Aether turn. Nemesis first, board's clear. We get the Haze Spewer, 5 life, does 5 damage damage equal to its current life to Gravehold, and then suffers 1 damage every activation. So we do get Zaxos first. He's going to cast Flare. It's going to do 3 damage to the Haze Spewer. So that's nice. And then he generates 7. I want that Sapphire and I want those Pearls, but I hate having that at 7. You know what? I'm going to grab a Focusing Orb and a Sifter's Pearl. That's how we're going to do that. I also could have grabbed another Feral Lightning and a Flexing Dagger, but, you know, they kind of are opposite points. What do I really need a Flexing Dagger for if I keep buying Feral Lightnings? Alright, and we do get Kabir first. Discard 2 non-corruption cards, suffer 2 damage, drops her to 5. Take any character and put their card back into the... I'll do Zaxos this time. She's going to cast Spark for 2 damage, kill the Haze Spear. She'll prep Arcane Nexus, double cast the Crystal for 2, buy a charge. Nemesis' turn. Discard top 2 cards of the Nemesis deck. Both tier 2. Alright. Gravehold suffers 2 damage. Focus a breach. And lose 4th. Take 2 damage. Gem from the least expensive supply pile and put it in your hands. Sifter's Pearl. He's going to keep... No, she's going to get that one. Alright. Spark for Lightning, and I generate 3 Aether, which is another Sifter's Pearl. Interesting. I'm going to prep Arcane Nexus. I'm not going to cast anything. And I'm going to triple cast Emerald Shard with its healing ability. And I'm going to heal Zaxos by 3. So I'm casting it once, casting a second time with the Arcane Nexus, casting a third time with the Arcane Nexus, and then I still generate 5. Okay, I'll heal him 2. And then I'll double cast a Jade using my other one. So that gives me 6, 7. And I'll buy a Chaos Arc. But pretty cool how you can, I mean, technically, if you had 4 Arcane Nexuses prepped up, you could heal 5 hit points just using her little gem. Of course, you could also generate 15 Aether if you have a Clouded Sapphire. So, you know, perspective. Nemesis. Unleash twice and Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Or bring the Haste Spear back into play. Okay. So Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Here's 14, gain 2 life. I'm going to swap that over to Zaxos. I will cast this Arcane Nexus. Does 5 damage, killing the Haze Spear. Prep Lava Tendril. And then I have 2, 4, 6 Aether because the Arcane Nexus, and I will buy a Chaos Arc. And then they... Citrus Pearl ability. Nemesis. Pain Sower, 11 life. Any player suffers 2 damage, and another player focuses a breach. Okay, we get Kadir again. Discard 2 non-corruption cards. Suffer 2 damage. Okay. These are 5. And then you may shuffle any player's turn order card back in the turn order. I'm going to do Kadir this time. I need to buy up those Chaos Arcs and get her special ability charged. And get both her special abilities charged. Four, 5. 4, 8, 9. So I will cast all 3 of these. We're going to do 9 damage to the Pain Sower. Brings them to 2. And then with 2, we will buy a charge. And we do get Zaxos. He will cast Feral Lightning, kill the Pain Sower. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. We will cast Spark as well, deal 1 damage to Crooked Mask. And we'll prep Feral Lightning and Arcane Nexus. And then that's worth 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Arcane Nexus. Ooh. Do I go for 2 Sifter's Pearls, a Focusing Orb, a Flexing Dagger, Clouded Sapphire? I'm This deck's already getting kind of fat. I'm going to go for a focusing orb and a charge. He gets to go again. I guess I'll cast both. No. I will cast just the Feral Lightning. It's going to do 3 damage. Drops him to 59. I will use the Flexing Dagger. Focusing Orb I will use to open Kadir's third breach. I will prep Feral Lightning. I will double cast the Jade, and with the Crystal that's 5, and I'll buy another Feral Lightning. So I feel a lot better about Zaxos' damage potential in this one. So one of the reasons I'm going all Feral Lightning, now that I have all of hers opened, I don't need to open his breaches. The Flexing Dagger will get the second one open. That's fine. That's good enough. I don't care about getting the +1 damage. It's good enough to do this and start sacrificing these to heal Gravehold. I need to get its life up. Because that's usually what loses me the game. All right. Sweet. And we get Kadir. Suffer 3 damage, or 2 damage. Place a gem from the least expensive supply pile in your hand. Let's flip that over here, I guess. And then we're going to prep Chaos Arc, and Spark. And this is worth 4. And a life point. So heal her back to 4. And with 4, she's gonna buy Lava Tendril. There you go, Lava Tendril. She just I have all 4 of her breaches open. It's just extra damage when I can get to it. Here we go. 2K. That's not bad at all. I'm able to keep the board clear pretty quickly. I do need to start getting their special abilities up, and I still need her to get a 3rd Chaos Arc. But overall, pretty good. All right, we are on to Zaxos. So do I want to cast that Arcane Nexus? I have 6 right here. No, I'm just going to cast them both. So that's going to be 7 damage. Drops Crooked Mass to 52. Focusing Orb I'm going to destroy to give 3 life to Gravehold. Brings me back up to 17. I'm going to prep Flare. And then I generate 6 Aether with Sifter's Pearl, which is enough for Focusing Orb and another charge. You know what? Yeah, it's fine. Nemesis goes, Venomite, 9 life. Player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, or you have to discard a card with a cost of 2 or more. Or 3 or more, sorry. Ooh, Venomite activates. Ooh. So I either take 2 damage or I discard Chaos Arc. I'm going to have to discard the Chaos Arc. I don't have enough healing. Oh, and unleash twice. And I guess I have to discard my spark too. Oh, I need to draw my hand first. What a shit hand. That actually probably screwed me. Oh, I hit the camera pretty hard. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to do that. Fix it in just a sec. So that probably cost me the game because it discarded my Chaos Arc, and I'm now shuffling it in, so I can't pull it out. So not only did I not get to cast it for, you know, a decent chunk of damage, I had to discard all of her spells. But now I don't have that Chaos Arc to pull out. So I could have used her ability, you know, I would have gotten for 8 damage out of that Chaos Arc, and then been able to pull 2 Chaos Arcs and Arcane Nexus out basically on our next turn and start hammering away, and that's not going to happen now, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So we're going to prep Chaos Arc, Arcane Nexus. Oh, suffer 1 damage. And then 3 Aether. I will buy buy Sifter's Pearl, I guess. What am I going to do with her special ability right now? Nothing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Grateful it suffers 2 damage. 15. Focus of Breach. Flare is worth 3 damage to the Venomite. And then I generate 5 Ether. Get that last Feral Lightning. Okay. Discard 2 non-corruption cards. Suffer 2 damage. Oof. Shuffle any player's turn our card back into the deck. I guess we're going to go with hers. I gotta get something going. Chaos Arc is worth 6 damage. Yep. So we're gonna cast that, kill the Venomite. Cast Arcane Nexus, it's worth 5 damage. Drops it into 47. And then we'll prep. Spark and Lava Tendril. But she's only got 1 life. This is not going well. She does get to go again. Okay, she will cast Spark for 1. Drops into 46. Leave the Lava Tendril. That does an extra 1 point. And we'll prep. That. And she'll back charge. Brings her up to 3. But she's only got 1 life. 1 bad draw. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hasn't happened yet. Definitely not going my way. I don't know if it's bad luck or bad play or what. And this is, what, my 24th attempt? Yeah, 24th. So I guess if I don't win this one, I'm going to have to keep playing. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Got the firepower. Got the board clear. I just wasn't able to keep her healed. I think that's going to cost me. Okay. I'm going to destroy this focusing orb first of all. Give another 3 points to Greyfold. And then we're going to prep Arcane Nexus. We'll double cast Sifter's Pearl. So that's 4, 6, 7. What does he have? Maybe I can... No, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna fully charge his ability. It doesn't make sense. Oh, man. Fully charge his ability. And then I will use it. Power up Otherworldly Gate. For 2. Give himself 2. It doesn't make sense for him to cast Otherworldly Gate. He's only got 1 Feral Lightning in there. Even if he did, I mean, you're just talking about 9 damage. It's not nothing crazy. But it does let me look at the turn order. I'm going to move Nemesis to the back. Hope for the best. After his next turn, maybe. Okay. Greyfold suffers 2 damage. So drops to 16. With the top card of your deck, you may destroy it. No, thank you. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to cast Spark for 2. I'm going to leave these 2 here so that does their special ability activates. So that's 4 damage. I will then prep Chaos Arc. And using Arcane Nexus, I will double cast one of the Sifter's Pearls. So that gives me 3 Sifter's Pearls. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And a total of 7 Aether. I will buy another Chaos Arc. I will then activate Kadir's special ability, Otherworldly Gate, which returns 3 spells from my discard pile. And I will take Chaos Arc, and Arcane Nexus. That is quite a bit of damage on deck. No green. That kills her. Do all my breaches get emptied? Or just one? When I get exhausted, I forget. Just one. Okay, that's okay. So I just have to get rid of the lava tendril. It cost me 5 damage that I lose from that, but that's not too bad. All right, I think I might actually pull this off. Look, before I do that, okay, his turn's coming up. How much damage is this? 2 Arcane Nexuses, that's 5 damage, or each, so that's 10. 2 Chaos Arcs that are both 4 damage plus 8. So those are both 12. So that's 24, 34. Then this Chaos Arc is 3 plus 6, so that's 9 plus 3, so that's another 12. So that's 46. That's 49 damage on deck. So I think I won. Okay. God, that KSR combo is so good. But first, we're going to go through these axes. We're going to go through the motions. Holy shit, I might have actually won. I'm getting excited now. Okay, we're going to just go ham on them. Arcane Nexus is going to go for 4 damage. Brings them down to 37. We will prep 2 Feral Lightnings. We will destroy 2 Focusing Orbs, which gives 6 life. Brings Gravehold back to 22. And then that just gets discarded. I didn't think I had it. But use his ability. Okay, so this is the bad part. Suffer 1 damage activates first. So that exhausts Kadita. So let's look at the rules. Make sure I do this right. First thing that happens when you become exhausted is the Nemesis unleashes twice. So we each get Corruption card, and we shuffle that in. Second effect, the exhausted player destroys one of their breaches, discarding any spells prepped in that breach. So that's going to be her first one. I'm going to discard that Lava Tendril. So we lose the 3 damage there, plus the 2 damage for the adjacency, the Chaos Arc. And the discarded exhausted player discards all of their charge tokens. She doesn't have any. And if she takes any damage from now on, it deals double damage to Gravehold. Oh, I didn't know that part. If a card deals damage to a player with the lowest life, it always deals damage to the non-exhausted player. So you can't choose to have that hit Gravehold. I didn't know that. I played that wrong a couple times. Okay. But, still her turn. So let's see how much damage this does. So these Arcane Nexuses are 4 damage each. 4 damage each, plus 1 from the open breach, so that's 5 each, that's 10. These are the big daddies. 2 Chaos Arcs, both get plus 1 from the third breach, so that's 4, plus 2 for every adjacent card, and there's 4 adjacent cards. So it's an additional 8 damage each. They both go to 12. So that's 10, that's 24. So that's 34 damage. This one does 3 plus 2 for each of those. So that goes to 7, which goes to 41. Lava Tendril does 3. That's 44 damage. Cast all of that shit. Boom. -7. Yeah. Woo. I beat Crooked Mask. It's funny how whenever you figure it out and you beat it, it almost seems easy. I mean, that's a 44 damage shot on a turn that she got exhausted. You know, it would have been 49. And he's got 6 damage on deck too. Whew. Man. Let's see what these double turns were. Pulverizing Ray, I would have been able to stop, and Gather Darkness. And that just would have added corruption. It would have shuffled and added corruption cards. So neither of those would have killed me. That wouldn't have killed me. That probably wouldn't have killed me. That was just a draw. This one probably would have killed me at this point. Maybe not. Because these are just drawing corruption cards mostly, which I have quite a bit of life on Greyfold, so I don't think that... Even at this point, I don't think that... There's not a lot of damage to player in there. I don't think that would have killed me either. I would have shuffled the Nemesis turn order cards, and then then I would have died there. That would have killed me. Because of him activating plus that. And that's mostly because, I would have healed him to 5 using that Emerald Shard, or potentially 7 if I didn't feel like using those. If you've been following along, guys, thank you for joining me on this journey. It took me so long. I wasn't using these mages for the longest time either. I finally broke down. And the clue that I used, it's a small little tidbit. But if you look through the boss-specific cards, so Crooked Mask, Crooked Mask, Crooked Mask. Look at the flavor text. It gives you a clue of how to defeat them. Let's go. So let's pull all the Crooked Mask cards. Okay. So tier 1. Tempt, no quote. Tier 1, Lash. He's a decent, especially on regular mode, I would go Kadir and Lash. No quote. Nim doesn't exist in the base set, so I don't know who that is. And then Brahma, healer. So for the tier 1, tier 2, Lash and Brahma would probably be my choices. But if you look at tier 3, Zaxos, Mist, and Zaxos again. So I use Kadir instead of Mist. But there's 2... I knew I had to use Kadir to defeat him. That getting this combo off was the only way I could defeat him, because, at least for me, the way my brain works. Because you do get that card in there that skips 2 Nemesis cards. And there's so much damage done to Greyfold, and there's so much corruption cards, you have to have a way to heal. Brahma can only heal with her special ability. You can use Essence Theft, but it's super inefficient against Crooked Mask because it requires you to discard cards. And because of the corruption cards, most of your hands are going to be 4 cards to begin with. So then to cast a spell that requires you to discard a card in addition to that really, really, really limits you. So instead of using Brahma's special ability, I figured out that the Arcane Nexus, combined with her starting gem card, because it is a gem, double and triple casting that was the most efficient way to heal. And it allowed me to not use Brahma and not use Essence Theft. It also, allowing me to get off this Chaos Arc combo, is the only way I could do damage quickly enough to him. So your other combination would be Lash and Brahma. Because Lash gives you the extra activations using his special ability, and but he takes more damage even from that. So he would take damage very, very quickly. And then using Brahma to heal him. So if you're going to go that route, you'd have to have a deck that generates charges, a store that generates charges. So Clouded Sapphire, maybe, but you'd have to have that, whatever that spell is that generates charges, and probably Mage's Talismans too. But then again, there's so many cards that damage Gravehold, I don't see how you can get away with not having Focusing Orbs. So this, I think, is the winning strategy, is have Kadir. You are able to double cast, triple cast Emerald Shards for healing, get her some Arcane Nexuses, get her 3 Chaos Arcs, get all of her breaches open, and get her more spells too, so that she has things to plug in on the sides of the Chaos Arcs already when you're pulling them out. And then using Zaxos, you grab Focusing Orbs, right? You get your economy going, and then you just grab Feral Lightnings. So that's his damage output right here, is the Feral Lightnings. You don't worry about anything else. Yeah, getting 1 Arcane Nexus is fine. You know, lets him double cast, lets him get his economy going a little bit better. But I would have done just as well if I grabbed a Clouded Sapphire instead of the Arcane Nexus. It wasn't necessary. And then use his Focusing Orbs to open up her breaches, and as soon as her breaches are open, start destroying them for Gravehold's life, and then just continue to use Feral Lightnings for damage. I think that's a winning strategy. The Flexing Daggers are not necessary at all. Lava Tendril isn't strictly required either. It's the easiest way to get 3 damage at 4 cost. And you need at least 2 3 damage attacks to deal with that Corruptor early on. And then letting them sit there just kind of help me get a little bit better damage. But you could totally swap those out for something else. Amplify Vision, or that one that gives you the charges would have been fine. Or even a Spectral Echo, I guess, if you really need to. But Feral Lightning, Chaos Arc, Arcane Nexus, Jade and Sifter's Pearl, and Focusing Orb are required. So I would say the Flexing Dagger, the Lava Tendril, and the Clouded Sapphire you can be flexible on. But for this strategy, those other 6 cards are absolutely required. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I might wait a week. Figure it out over the weekend. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm so happy, you guys. Man, 24 attempts. I beat Carapace Queen on the first try on expert difficulty. I had to create a very different setup from what I used to defeat the other Nemesises. I kind of had a similar strategy going in on the other 3. And this is very different, I feel like, except for the KSR combo a little bit. Anyway, if you've been following along, especially if you watched all of these, like, my God, I love you guys. I love you. You're the best. Anyway, I guess I'm going to sign off now. I'll just keep rambling. All right. Love you guys. Be great.